Hey guys, happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is 10 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I just got back from my bike ride. I have had something on my mind consistently for the last week. As I keep referring to this, alluding to this. Something's been worrying me. If you guys look, I have the app like for The Guardian on my phone. I have an app for Flipboard, it's called, with different news. It has actually conservative news and liberal news. I have about 3 or 4 other ones, and I watch the news on TV. And there is more and more indication that this election is going to be a problem, this election day. And I say that in reference to Donald Trump's preparations. I started thinking, this is the bottom line, I started looking at Donald Trump's personality. And if Joe Biden were to win fair and square, would Donald Trump be able to concede? You know, if it was an honest win, an overwhelming honest win, and would he be able to concede? And, you know, call Joe Biden, do that, and then go back and kind of fade into the quiet life of being a civilian again. Could he do that? And no. I truly believe he cannot do that. I don't think he's capable of it. With his narcissistic personality, taking a loss, especially of that size, especially to the vice president, the person that was a vice president of Obama, who he obviously has major issues with, and his whole win at all costs thing, we're seeing that play out right now. And honestly, that's what's been bothering me. It's bothered me to the point where actually the last, 5 or 6 videos, I hate to say this, but like I said, I say what's on my mind. I haven't been as happy with the last 5 or 6 videos that I've made here. So I thought about it, and it's like, I have to talk about this because it's bothering me and it's affecting my other videos. I don't feel I'm not happy with them. And the bottom line is, I believe that Donald Trump is going to steal the election. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, what are the possibilities? He wins outright. That's fine. It's not fine, but if it's everything's fair and square, and he gets the majority of the vote, it looks like the majority of the vote, then I can live. I can't. I'm not going to like it, but if it's a fair, honest election, I'll live with it. This is what I think is going to happen. Either he wins outright, which I don't see happening, because I think this morning's polls were 52% Biden, 42% Trump. And with the swing states and everything, it's not looking all that positive. And we see him preparing for it. He came right out and said, the Supreme Court, that he wants this seat filled for the election because he's going to contest it if Biden wins. That's what's going to happen. If it's even starting to look like Biden's going to win, this is the scary thing too, is it's going to take time to count these votes. The general consensus is it's going to be so close that it's highly unlikely a winner will be obvious for at least a day, 2 days, even a week. There's no way. I believe there's no way that Donald Trump will wait 1 week. I believe he will declare himself a winner. I've been reading these other articles that Russia intends to get involved, Russia and China intend to get involved and throw more gas on the flame. Like on Facebook or Twitter or any of these other social media platforms with bots and all that, and throwing gas on the fire by proclaiming Trump a winner, or early, ahead of time, or counter information, wrong information. By all accounts, it's looking like we could really have a nationwide crisis. If I'm wrong, I've been wrong before. I was wrong, Kenosha, when Trump visited there, that my video light the fuse. I was wrong. You know what? And I was glad I was wrong. I don't want violence. I love this country. This what keeps going through my head. The only way for evil to prevail is if good men do nothing. I started thinking about that. It really looks like that Donald Trump is setting it up for himself to claim victory, either election night or a day or two later. regardless of the votes. That's where we're at. It really seems we've arrived at the F nation, the F word. We're here. We have a president that says he delighted in seeing a journalist hit with a rubber bullet. He loved it. Just a regular journalist doing his job. You know, when you have a person in charge cheering on the infliction of harm and worse on reporters, on news people, there's a, you know, you're already there. So anyway, I start thinking about this, and I've kind of reached that point where I like I said, I was kind of down the last couple of videos, and I bounced back up, and I started thinking, what can we do about this? And I don't know if other people have come out with ideas. Now, we have right-wing people talking about they're ready to bring their militias and everything to Washington and their ARs, and I got to be careful the words I use again. But they're ready to bring their instruments, their tools to Washington, the militias. And that's the last thing I want. I don't think that's the route to go down, the route of violence. I chose violence for many years of my life. And I just think it's something that can get out of control very quickly. So I started thinking about this. And if there was a case, say Trump did prematurely, say that, you know, everything looked like Biden was going to win, say it's a day or two after election, like November 4th or 5th, and Trump just comes out and says, you know what, he wants to throw out a bunch of ballots from Arizona, and he declares himself the winner, even though he doesn't have the electoral votes. What to do about it? What are we going to do? Are we going to concede the rest of the nation, the majority, the true majority? Are we going to just roll over? And I started thinking about this. And I thought, a nationwide strike, a work stoppage. You have Trump supporters and these far right-wing militias and whatnot, just itching for confrontation, violence. And I thought about this, and this would be the perfect solution. Just hit Trump where it hurts. He's getting himself all prepared with the Supreme Court, you know, and Russia to set up a situation where he can steal the election. What if there was just a nationwide work stoppage? Millions of people just shutting down business and not going to work. And then what could the militia, what could armed people or the National Guard do? Are they going to force us by gunpoint to go to work? No, they won't be able to do anything. I seriously started considering this, and I started considering names from my project. I'm moving forward with this. Like I said, this has happened before, where I go through a period of hopelessness and depression, and I bounce back and I get inspired. I think I'm going out today to buy dozens of t-shirts. I'm still working on colors to make t-shirts for my project. I'm thinking of, and this has to do with a work stoppage, with a nationwide strike, in the event that it looks like Trump is trying to steal the election. If this doesn't happen, thank God. Thank God I was wrong, and thank God. You know, if Biden wins cleanly and Trump does the right thing, great. If Trump wins cleanly and it's all above board, great. But in the advent that doesn't happen, and it certainly looks that way now, I'm going to start preparing for this. So I started thinking names for my project, and the word pitchfork came to mind, because I know it sounds violent, but it's really not. It reminded me of the old movie Frankenstein, where the mob came to get the monster out of the village. They weren't having that monster in their midst, armed with their pitchforks. I was like, that's a perfect analogy to Donald Trump and the majority of Americans. Pitchfork, the Pitchfork Project. And it's a great symbol to be able to put on t-shirts and whatnot, the pitchfork symbol. So I'm working on that now. I'm totally serious about this. I started to actually think if this goes full steam ahead, I'm going to end up on Attorney Barr's sedition list. That would be the ultimate compliment. No, all kidding aside, I truly believe that this could be a situation, a crisis in our country that will go down through history, where we're going to have somebody try to exert authoritarian rule and just basically do away with democracy. If you read news reports, if you read anything, if you've been watching what's going on, it's leaning that way. No exaggeration. Just another thing I was reading, 200 military men, we're talking admirals, vice admirals, four-star generals, 200 signed a letter saying that they are in support of Joe Biden. 200 high-level military men from the Department of Defense, vice admirals, like I said, 22 of them are four-star generals or their equivalent or better. 22 four-star generals or better. 200 military men. See, these are indicators that I really, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. But as it gets closer with Donald Trump's personality, in the advent that Joe Biden does win, I do not believe that Donald Trump is mentally or emotionally able to concede, to leave, to willingly go. I believe I truly believe that he's willing to tear this country apart, to do anything up to and beyond a actual second civil interaction. I have to be careful the words I use here. And I really am giving some thought into how to respond to this. I don't like using the word revolt or revolution, because this is somebody that wouldn't actually be in power if he's voted out. But anyway, so Pitchfork Project, a nationwide strike, a work stoppage, millions of people. And I've started to think about this financially. I started to think that there's 5 or 6 weeks left. A lot of people get paid week by week or every other week. And I seriously started to start planning to put away money every week in the case that I do have to go along with this and do this, a nationwide strike, a work stoppage, and have what I need here too, so that I don't have to go shopping for it. Because if the stores are shut, so today I'm going to go shopping. I'll take some pictures and some video while I'm out. Like I said, and I'm planning on buying some T-shirts, start making T-shirts for my project, the Pitchfork Project, I believe I will call it. Work stoppage, nationwide strike. That's what I'm calling for in the advent that Donald Trump tries to steal this election. All right, you guys have a good Thursday.